talk sport. On air, online and on TV at Sky Channel 0108.
We still all talk about the Bosman ruling, don't we? John Mark Bosman, remember?
Yes, I do.
It changed football.
Wow, it didn't have.
The lawyer who represented him, Jean-Louis Dupont, joins us on the telephone. Jean-Louis, good evening to you.
Good evening.
Back not to talk about Bosman, but financial fair play. You've lost the case, it would appear. The supporters challenged to financial fair play. Is that the end of it, or do you have life in you yet?
Well, this is really first news that we have lost it. Not at all. The European Commission has not rejected the complaint. And since the European Commission said, well, the problem is that there is just one small agent complaining about it, right. So maybe it has no European interest. You have, if I'm correct, 22 more complainants that have joined the case. So the game is quite different, and I would say that every day you have more persons that are willing to join it, in particular fans. This is for the European Commission, but in parallel we are also in the civil courts in Brussels, and there the case is going on according to schedule, and we hope that we will have a judgment by next spring or next summer, which is totally normal according to, say, the judicial timing.
And Jean, why do you think that this financial fair play is unfair then?
Well, I don't think it. Any serious economist that has written about that says that it's not financial fair play, it's financial unfair play.
Agreed.
Why? As simple as this. Because when you say you cannot spend more than what you earn, it looks good on the face of it. That's what I do at home, and I guess you do the same, you know? But when you're a company, that's crazy. A company is about taking risks and saying, okay, during 10 years I'm going to lose some money. I mean, the investor, meaning I will put some money from my pocket in this company so that I grew it. So that I grow it. I make something different from it. Well, in fact, exactly what Mr. Abramovich did with Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
So
you speculate. Sorry, Jean-Louis. So you speculate to accumulate is what we're saying. So
exactly.
So for those who haven't followed the story, maybe are hearing about this for the first time. It's a supporters group, is it, that you're representing, and you're challenging UEFA's right on financial fair play?
Yeah, at the moment I'm representing some agents that challenge him and some supporters. But, you know, what's in a name? Financial fair play is a great name. I mean, that's the only thing that is good about it, is the name. Because when you come down to the truth, it's a prohibition to invest. As simple as that.
Yes.
It's a prohibition made to an owner to invest in his own business, in his own company. So what's the result of it? The result is very simple. The result is that you have the haves and the have-nots.
Yeah.
The people that are established will remain up there and cannot be challenged. In fact, UEFA has just established a NBA without saying so. It's as simple as that. And you, English people, you look at it from the perspective of a big market. It's even worse when you look at it with the eyes of a small market. I'm Belgian. Here you have a club in a city that I think is still a big city, named Brussels. The name of the club is Anderlecht. When you tell Man United, when you tell Real Madrid, you can only spend what you earn. In fact, you are telling you can spend 525 million euro per year. When you tell Anderlecht you can only spend what you earn, you tell Anderlecht you can spend 45 million. And you tell Anderlecht it will remain like that forever.
Yeah.
don't dream of of the next Mr. Abramovich coming and saying, wow, Brussels is a great city. I want to turn Anderlecht into, let's say, FC Porto. Forget about it. The stratification has been made. It's over. Forget about Rangers becoming one of the top European clubs, where, in my view, Rangers is one of the most fantastic football clubs in the world. So this is financial unfair play. That's what we are talking about. And the point is, it would be so simple to do something different. Just an example. Because UEFA is always using the argument, well, if we don't do that, then you have a next Portsmouth. Yeah. Not at all. Not at all. You have a serious individual that comes and says, I'm going to overspend in my club because I want to grow the club. Well, okay, great. Do it. But put the money by the 1st of June for the whole next season. So there is no risk. You know, so the idea is, instead of saying you cannot overspend, you say you cannot overspend unless it is fully guaranteed in advance. I mean, from an EU competition law perspective, it's very important. Why? Because it means that you have less damaging measures that would be more efficient. So under EU law, you cannot restrain a freedom in order to attain a supposed good, financial balance, if you have other measures that are available that would restrain less the freedom, and on top of that, that would at the same time be better, achieve better your objective. And that's where we are. So we are not saying that, this is not Bosman, this is not right or wrong. You know, it's not the player at the end of contract should be free, and when you have a rule saying it is not the case, this is wrong. You cannot do anything with that rule.
Johnny, I'm sorry to interrupt. Would you be so kind as to just stay where you are for 60 seconds? We're just at the 8:30ish, and we need to break for the news. But we've got a couple of more questions for you. Would you mind staying where you are?
No problem.
Thank you. Okay, we'll be back with you shortly. Jean-Louis Dupont. Right now, Kate Partridge with the TalkSport.
On air, online, and on TV at Freeview Channel 723.
Jean-Louis Dupont, lawyer, on the telephone. Thanks, Jean-Louis, just breaking for that time. In case people have just joined us, challenge on behalf of agents and supporters to financial unfair play. You're right, that's what we like to call it. What chances of success do you think?
Well, normally as an attorney at law you have to be very cautious, and it makes no sense to say 95%, 99, 55. It's not right to look at it like that. For me, the key issue is any serious professor of law that has written on this subject, any top economist that has written on that subject, is defending exactly the same position as my clients do. So, in fact, I have absolutely no doubt that this rule violates EU law, so we have to win. Now, a court battle means also procedural issues. So, you can always lose on a technical issue. So it's not serious to say I'm certain to win. But on the grounds, on the merits, personally, I have zero doubt that this rule violates EU law. And why am I certain? Well, maybe because I have some experience, but more specifically, because any serious person that has written about it says the same thing.
Do you find yourself supported by the big clubs, or are they against the action you're taking?
Well, I think that this is what are we talking about? We are talking about a cartel. We're talking about a system in which you cannot challenge UEFA because you have to live with it. So I don't expect anything from the big clubs.
Jean, do you get the
maybe a pat on the back, but
yeah. Sean, do you get the impression that UEFA are taking this seriously? Or are they kind of thinking, well, this will go away and we'll just carry on as we are?
Oh, well, you know, I think they take it very seriously, and they try to, you know, the only thing is, you have to admit that the media timing, the media rhythm is not the judicial rhythm. So here, you have some whistleblowers that are going to the judge and say, hey judge, please, here I am standing up for my rights, please decide that I'm right. It takes time.
Well, Jean-Louis,
in the meantime, it's easy for the opponent to say, well, everybody's happy with it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think that everybody's happy with it, and I think that many people are happy that a few people stand up for their rights.
normally you would expect balance in a situation such as this, Jean-Louis, but I wish you all the very best.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
where I'm making the judgment, I make you right. I trust others.
Can I just say one last thing? I think that in England, there is a wrong perception about it. I think that in England, for example, people say, oh, this is hitting hard on Man City. This is hitting quite hard on Chelsea. In fact, in my view, and I'm not an expert on English football, if I were a fan, a supporter of Aston Villa, or of Newcastle, I would cry. Because no next Sheikh Mansour coming to grow the club. Forget about it. It's over. In fact, they're the real losers.
Well, as I said, and I think I speak on behalf of both of us, Andrew.
Yes, well,
we wish you nothing but success, my friend, and do please stay in touch.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you for talking to us. Jean-Louis Dupont, lawyer representing agents and supporters fighting financial unfair play, which is something I think
well,
we
it's
first
even
called
worse
it
for me when he quotes my team as well, Rangers. I wasn't very happy. But that's true. I use the example of Leeds United fans. I've got some close friends who are massive Leeds United fans and have had torturous few years, and suddenly it just dawned on me, no one can go in there with millions and take them back to the heady days of semi-finals in the Champions League.
It's gone. Cartel, as Jean-Louis said. Yeah. Those who now have will continue to have, and those who dream can forget all about it.
Forget all about it, yeah.
Inside Sport, we're called. You're listening to Andy Graham.